What is going on, basketball fans, and welcome back to NBA GOAT News. Last night was nothing short of a show. The Memphis Grizzlies faced off against the Milwaukee Bucks, and man, did they put on a display. The Grizzlies ended up coming away with the win 122-99, and Ja Morant and the Grizzlies looked like they were on a mission. And it wasn't just to win, but to dominate from start to finish. Coming into the game, both teams had a lot to prove. Memphis was hungry to bounce back after a tough loss to the Nets, and the Bucks, well, they wanted to snap their losing streak and find their rhythm. But it quickly became clear this night was all about Ja and the Grizz. Let's talk about Ja Morant, who was absolutely electric. 26 points, 14 assists, and 10 rebounds. He notched a triple-double, people. From the very start, Morant was all over the court. And if you needed proof that he was taking the game personally, look no further than that hustle play. Ja diving for a loose ball, grabbing it while sitting down, and finding Santi Aldama for a reverse dunk. The man was unstoppable. It wasn't just Ja, though. The Grizzlies had 7 players scoring in double figures, with Santi Aldama stepping up big time, dropping 19 points and snagging 9 boards. Scottie Pippen Jr. and Jalen Wells chipped in with 16 each, and Memphis shot a sizzling 52% on the night. The whole team was dialed in, snapping their 2-game skid in style. Giannis Antetokounmpo was in MVP form, putting up a monster 37 points and 11 rebounds on an insane 17 of 22 shooting. But even the Greek Freak couldn't carry the Bucks alone. Meanwhile, Milwaukee's offense was ice cold from beyond the arc, hitting only 9 of their 42 3-point attempts. And then there's Damian Lillard. It was a tough night for him, going 1 for 12 from the field and missing all 6 of his 3-point attempts. For the Grizzlies, this game was a statement. They played with a different level of energy, 50% shooting by halftime, holding the Bucks to 42%, and stretching their lead to a massive 31 points in the fourth. They came out hungry, determined to prove themselves, and Ja's leadership fueled that fire. As for the Bucks, they're clearly missing that synergy, especially with Lillard struggling from 3. That's 4 straight losses, and it's back to the drawing board if they want to get back to being the top team in the East. Last night's matchup between Houston Rockets and Dallas Mavericks was a battle down to the wire, with the Rockets barely holding off a furious Mavericks comeback. Houston came out swinging, led by Jalen Green, who was in full beast mode. Let's break down how the Rockets managed to escape with a 108-102 victory over Luka and the Mavs. Starting off with the star of the show, Jalen Green. This man was everywhere last night. He dropped a solid 23 points, snagged a career-high 12 boards, and was hitting tough shots. The Rockets had 23-point lead by the end of the third, and Green's energy was a big reason why. Let's not forget about Alperen Sengun. The Rockets' big man had a double-double of his own with 17 points, 12 rebounds. Sengun was cleaning up on the glass, helping Houston dominate with a 50-37 rebounding advantage. That control on the board was a game-changer, and the Rockets took full advantage of second-chance opportunities, outscoring Dallas 20-8 on second-chance points. And hey, Dillon Brooks also dropped 17. Hitting key shots to keep the momentum alive for Houston. And let's give a shout out to Tari Eason, coming off the bench with a solid 15 points. Houston's reserves outscored Dallas's bench by 12 points, giving the Rockets a much-needed boost. Just when the Rockets looked like they were running away with it, Luka Doncic turned up the heat in the fourth. Luka Magic was in full effect. He scored 15 of his 29 points in the final quarter, bringing Dallas back within striking distance. He hit a clutch 3 with just over a minute left, cutting the Rockets' lead to 3. But Houston wasn't about to let this one slip. Just when the Mavericks were closing in, Rockets rookie Amen Thompson came up huge. With 43 seconds left, he nailed a fadeaway jumper that stretched Houston's lead back to 5. The Rockets held on tight, and the shot from Thompson sealed the deal. Last night's matchup between the San Antonio Spurs and Utah Jazz was absolutely insane. We saw some incredible playmaking from none other than Victor Wembanyama. Not only did the Spurs come back on top 106-88, but Wemby was everywhere, putting on a show that left the Jazz fans speechless. Let's dive into the action. Right out the gate, Jazz came to play. Patty Mills was on fire, hitting 3 back-to-back threes to fuel 13-0 run that had Jazz up 30-19 heading into the second quarter. Even without Markkanen, who was out due to back spasms, Utah's offense looked dangerous early on. Colin Sexton and John Collins were doing everything they could to keep the momentum going. But as the game went on, Victor Wembanyama started to make his presence felt. With 25 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 steals, and 5 blocks. Wembanyama was a total force. The guy's ability to impact the game in every area was on full display. It's the second time he's had at least 5 in 5 different categories, which is unreal. Chris Paul, the floor general, stepped up big time as well, adding 19 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds. The Spurs erased a double-digit deficit not once but twice. Now let's talk about the pivotal third quarter. After trailing at halftime, the Spurs went on a huge 12-0 run midway through, turning the game around. Julian Champagna and Keldon Johnson put on a defensive clinic with 3 steals that turned into easy baskets on 4 straight possessions. The energy shift was unreal, and by the end of the third, the Spurs had an 8-point lead, 63-55. The fourth quarter was all Spurs. They turned up the heat and stretched the lead to 20 points. The Jazz couldn't find their rhythm without Markkanen. With a whopping 26 turnovers, Utah gave the Spurs way too many opportunities. The turnovers led to 35 points for San Antonio, which was the nail in the coffin for the Jazz. Last night, the Phoenix Suns pulled off a stunning comeback, erasing a 21-point deficit to beat the Clippers 125-119. Devin Booker was absolutely unstoppable, dropping 40 points and hitting clutch shots when the Suns needed them most. Kevin Durant pitched in with 18, and the Suns outscored the Clippers by 73 points in the second half alone. This game showed why Phoenix is a force in the West. Early on, it looked like the Clippers had this one in the bag. They were rolling with efficient ball movement, hitting their shots, and playing solid defense. James Harden was making a huge impact, showing off his playmaking with 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 13 assists. A triple-double that kept the Clippers in control for much of the first half. By halftime, LA was up by 21, and it seemed like the Suns were on their way to a tough loss. But something switched in the third quarter. Booker and Durant took over, scoring a combined 20 points in the quarter and leading the charge for the Suns. Royce O'Neal and Ryan Dunn stepped up as well, each hitting some big shots from downtown that just kept Phoenix in striking distance. Before long, that 21-point lead had shrunk, and it was anyone's game heading into the fourth. The game stayed tight in the final minutes, but one moment defined the night. With just over 5 minutes left, Harden lost the ball in the paint, leading to a quick Suns transition. Durant found Booker in the corner, and boom, Booker nailed a 3-pointer to put Phoenix up 108-105. It was a huge turning point that gave the Suns the edge they needed. If you want more NBA game recaps and highlights like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.